All right, tartar sauce, of course, goes great with the fish fry, and I kind of like tartar sauce. It's got a little bit more acid to it, a little more vinegar punch just to cut through that, you know, the heaviness of a fish fry. So tartar sauce really is just pretty much mayo and relish. So this is one that I usually make. There's some ingredients you might even have sitting around the house, so we'll make this up real quick and simple. It's gonna be a mayo base, and I'm just gonna use some pepperoncini peppers, some really dilly vinegary pickles, and I'm gonna use the dill that's actually in that jar to add to it, and then onion. I like using shallots. I just like the punch that shallots provide in this. So those are really the ingredients you use to make this relish. All right, so I'm just gonna start with finely dicing this shallot here. And we'll probably just use half of the shallot is all we really need here. And just add these ingredients, you know, as you want. You could put these all onto the you know, small dishes off to the side, and then just add as you think is necessary. All right, I'm just gonna grab a couple of these peppers as well. I'll maybe grab 3 or 4 of these, something like that. And then same deal, just gonna kind of finely dice all these peppers up. We're just gonna chop some peppers. Now let's move on to cutting up a few pickles. I'll maybe do 2 or 3 pickles. Same deal here, just gonna kind of finely slice these spears. And now let's bust into the mayo here. And we're doing a fish fry for the office, so I'll probably just use up most of this mayo here. All right. So I just eyeball this. I've got no idea how much you should actually add, but just kind of start eyeballing it so you've kind of got that texture that you would normally see in a relish. And the shallots are pretty potent, so that's one thing you can easily do is put too many shallots in there. Add the peppers. Kind of mix this up and give it a little evaluation here. And the other thing, I kind of like my tartar sauce a little thinner. And like I said, I like that vinegar punch, so I'm gonna add just a little bit of the juice from the pepperoncinis. And I'm gonna do the same with the pickle spear juice, so. Just pour some on the table too. There we go. I'll thin it out nicely. So I've got some of the Papavillachis here. We're gonna try a little bit of that secret weapon in here and see how that ends up playing out in here. Put a little bit of this in there. All right, give it a little sample. Yeah, I think that's pretty close. That secret weapon's got a really cool finish to the end of it. I like it. And let's get going on the fish fry. Well, the boys just came in with a bucket of crappies. They're out catching crappies in deep water, but crappies are like the ultimate fish for a fish fry. It seems like you can get access to crappies any time of year. They're delicious and everybody loves to eat them. So I'm gonna run through a really simple way to fry fish with a breading, Papavillachis, that's super simple, delicious, and again, really easy. So what I'm gonna do is dump some of the breading into a Ziploc bag, and then these are wet fillets or moist fillets, and I'm just gonna shake them in here, lay them out, and then they're gonna go right into the fryer. Pretty cool, small little company. Steve's selling this stuff at farmers markets. You can get it on his website, but really great recipe. It's got tons of really bold flavors, and he's got a bunch of sauces and spices as well. So I'm gonna start. I like being prepared when I'm gonna do this. So I've got a cookie sheet right here that I'm just gonna lay the fillets on once they're done. So I've got a little bit of breading in here. I'm just gonna start by throwing a few fillets in. You don't wanna overload the bag with fillets, otherwise you don't get really even coating on the fillets here. There's a little bit of cornmeal in here, so you're getting some texture and not just kind of that straight flour breading. So really sticks well to these fillets. And you don't want these things soaking wet, just a little bit wet. So we've got a nice batch of fillets here ready to go. Now, if you're gonna do a deep fry, it's a good idea to get the oil started a little bit ahead of time, so when you're done breading, you can go right into the frying process. So in this case, we are doing a deep fry. We're gonna use some peanut oil. You can use the oil of your choosing. If I was gonna do a shallow fry, I might choose to use lard or something like that. But we're gonna get the oil in here. We're gonna fill it up pretty full so we can fully submerge the fillets to get that real deep fried flavor that we're looking for, and we're gonna get this stuff up to around 375 or a little north of 375 for the first batch of fish we do. So you don't want to go too close to the top in case something happens. You don't want this stuff boiling over. This is a great way to cook fish, but if you want a little more texture to the fish, this is a really easy thing to do. And I've got the Frytastic, everything's breaded with Frytastic. Now I'm just gonna do a little bit of an egg wash and panko. 2-3 eggs here. So just gonna take and, dip that fish. Make sure you get coating on both sides, kind of let some of the excess wipe off here. Drop it into the panko, and then just kind of put some of that on top and around. Kind of pat that in, give it a flip. I like a nice wide surface for this so you can really work that in. And then shake a little bit of that off. Now you've got just I'd call this the extra crunchy version then of the OG here. All right. All right, so we're at the 375 mark. So we're just a little north of that right now, so we're ready to fry. When it comes to this point, I definitely like to be prepared, so I'm walking over to that area. I have my rack. I'm just gonna put some paper towels in the bottom of this just so it's not so greasy when I go to do cleanup. So I've got a wire rack, cookie sheet, spider, tongs. All right, let's roll. Let's start frying some fish, baby. Here we go. Crappie bound, here we go. Oh yeah. Remember when you're frying with fish, drop it in the oil, always lay it away from you so it doesn't come splashing back up and get you. Keep an eye on the temp. It seems like it likes to spike real quick and then it just falls right back down. So really keep an eye on the oil at this point in time. Don't overload it. We're gonna do this in a bunch of batches, so this will be my last piece to go in here. Pretty much with crappies, when the color looks good, the fish is done. You don't have to, so we can cook at a pretty high temperature just to achieve that crispy golden brown look right away. But if I was using a really big, thick piece of fish, you need to reduce the oil temperature just so that you can get the fish cooked through without burning the exterior. Feeling good? Looking good? All right. Here we go. Look at that. Now I don't think this particular batter requires you to put finishing salt on, but if you were using something else, this is the time you want to salt the fish when the oil's still hot. All right, so there we go. We got ourselves a beautiful batch of crappies here. All right, now with the panko, it's really the same deal as the non-pankoed version. We're really just cooking for color. These crappies they're nice and thin. They'll be cooked through, no problem. One regret I have from this is that these are kind of big fish, so I would have probably just done this, cut these in half, because these are big pieces of meat. But it looks pretty tasty. Either way, one crappie fillet will go a long ways. When they're this size, you don't really need to have 30 of them, but boy, that's a nice finish on those, isn't it? Real pretty. All right, there we go. We got ourselves a nice batch of fish here. Delicious, tasty, but when you've got the oil hot, sometimes I think it's a good idea to do something else, whether it's fried potatoes, diced potatoes, French fries, tater tots, whatever. So we're gonna show you how to step it up with a little bit of extra seasoning here. You could do this with, again, tots, fries, whatever. So I'm gonna take a bag of these, put them into the oil, same deal. We're gonna wanna be around that 350, 375 here. So now with these potatoes that just came out, this stuff goes good on literally anything from popcorn to meat to, of course, potatoes. So I'm gonna give it a pretty liberal seasoning. Again, these are hot right off the oil. Just kind of toss these around in here. That's it. That's all we got going on here for a fish fry. So pretty simple. All you need is some hot grease, some crappies, a little bit of Frytastic, and some of these seasonings. Seriously, check these seasonings out though, because these are really good, especially the Cajun one. It's not spicy. It's just got really great depth of flavor, and man, oh man, awesome, awesome deal. So, and then of course the secret weapon is of course the secret weapon. All right, that's it. Thanks everybody.